Hopefully you guys are refreshed, ready to go. Right? It's a 4-day week, so what's to complain about other than what's going on with markets? Goldman Sachs now says that the chances of the U.S. going into recession. See, the thing is, we're already in recession, but these guys want to say we're not. I'll just say thinks that we're going to go into a deeper recession. The chances of that has been cut down from 20 to 15%. So basically, as this, as our situation develops, people are studying economic data like jobs and unemployment and, retail sales, manufacturing, everything. Right now, all these analysts are saying there's a very little chance that we go deeper in recession. Right now, we're slowing down. Obviously, there's some softening, but we're not going to go into a deep recession. That's what everyone else is saying, right? And I tend to agree because if you look at these data, they're not getting much worse. It's not like we're seeing significant drop. If we start seeing significant drops in all these data, then it's very worrisome. But right now, that's not the case. Also, what's helping with this narrative is the fact that, this prediction for the next FOMC meeting, which is coming up in about 3 weeks, 95% chance we will not get another rate hike. Okay, and this has been pretty accurate, though it does swing wildly as we get closer to the date. But right now, it's looking like we are set at our 5.25 to 5.5 rate, and we are not going to move higher, which is good. And something else that's also pretty good is the fact that Treasury yields are going up. And why is this good? This generally means, investors are more confident in other things. So that's why they're not buying bonds as much. They're buying other things such as commodities or real estate or crypto, right? And that's why yields are going up, because they're less attractive. Now, if you start seeing yields go down in a major way, that's when it's no good for everything else, right? So right now, we got some good stuff going on. Not the greatest, not in a full-blown bull market. The U.S. economy is doing okay. It's doing okay. And next year, I think it's going to be so much better. I've talked about next year being a trifecta. Actually, it's more than trifecta. It's a quadfecta of goodness next year. Think about it. We have Powell that will be cutting rates next year. We're going to have a Bitcoin spot ETF. Many of them come out next year. We also have the halving event. Let's not forget about that. And we have a presidential election. And if you look at every election year, they have been absolutely fantastic for all markets, right? It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Again, it comes down to, I created a couple of videos recently. It comes down to patience, really having patience and believing in the cause, believing in what you're holding, right? If you don't have those, you're going to find a way to get them, I guess. All right, last few things. I saw this. This was a major hack that was reported yesterday. Stake, the gambling platform, they were hacked for $41 million, discovered by a couple internet guys. And now 5 hours later, they reopen and say everything is okay. Hopefully it is. I mean, these guys have enormous amount of money. They throw around an enormous amount of money, right? They also have a streaming platform called Kick, which they're trying to grow, and they're throwing enormous amount of money at streamers there. So hopefully they still have enough money in the bank after getting robbed of $41 million, right? There's some kind of VC that just rug pulled. They're not a traditional VC. So Synapsis, I've never heard of this company. Maybe some of you guys have. Synapsis Labs. They gave basically $9 million Synapsis token to this VC firm that's supposed to be utilizing it to invest. Instead, they dumped all the tokens and then closed shop. That's what they did. So again, unfortunately, you hear about this all the time, rug pull, right? it happens, you just have to really be careful. I mean, you just hear about hacks all the time and rug pulls all the time, right? It gives crypto a bad name. And it just shows how early and immature the space is. Some of us has been in the space for, I don't know, 10 years now, 9 years. It seems like it's forever, but no, it's not really. Just think about when the internet started, and that sounds like, oh, it was like a million years ago. No, it didn't start that long ago, but when the internet started and the Web 2 stuff came out, like all the e-commerce sites, all those companies that came out in the 2000 era, most of them died, and there was a lot of problems too. It took a long, long time to get to where we are now. Same thing with mobile. Same thing with anything, right? So even though this situation sucks, and there will be probably more situations like this, just keep in mind that the entire space is just very, very early. We need time. We need time for these projects to truly develop into the gems that they are. It's just not there yet. But again, in the meantime, be careful with your own money. Be careful with the crypto that you invest in. There's a lot of hot projects that come out all the time, and no one really knows anything about them. They FOMO in, and sometimes they lose. So don't be one of those guys. Solana, a lot of Solana fans. Recently, there's a lot of Solana news. Visa expands stablecoin settlement pilot to Solana. Visa and MasterCard are both piloting blockchain. They've been utilizing Ethereum, but maybe they decided they need to go on a chain that's much faster and much less costly. It makes sense. The thing is, Visa and MasterCard, they process like hundreds of thousands of transactions, okay, per day. So they need something that's very fast and robust, okay? And you could say that's Solana, but Solana has to prove itself, has to prove that it's not going to have any more outages like before. Otherwise, big companies like Visa, Master, they can't have that. They're going to leave, right? And not just these fintech companies, but, for all the future dApps that will be coming on board, they need to know that the network will not go down constantly. But it's good for Solana. It's good for Solana. All right, that's what I want to cover today. U.S. market, a little bit in the red, starting off, no good. Here's a headline news. Fed Governor Waller agrees that the central bank could proceed carefully on interest rates. Yeah, that means no more. 95% of no. Hopefully that doesn't change. All right, outside of that, crypto overall is not doing a whole lot, same as yesterday. They'll love to see Bitcoin and the rest of the market come up. We have a few movers, but very, very, very small movement today.